Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. In today's video we're going to look at getting started with the Chaos Knights in Warhammer 40,000, building a force based around the Iconoclast Fiefdom Christmas Advent Calendar detachment. You'll find the full rules for this detachment, including enhancements and stratagems, free to download from warhammercommunity.com. Today's video is sponsored by Gap Games, a fantastic miniature wargaming store in Queensland, Australia. They stock a wide variety of miniature wargames from all things Games Workshop to some of my personal favourites, Conquest of the Last Argument of Kings, and all things Modifius wargames as well. Use our affiliate code in the link below to help support both this fantastic store and the channel as well. And so, the knight we've gone for this detachment is a Knight Tyrant. This is a big, heavy-hitting piece that's going to make up a vast majority of the points you have. Now, it does have a few options on it. It'll come standard with the Brimstone and Volcano Lance and Ectoplasma Decimator that can be swapped out for a Dark Flame Cannon and Warp Shock Harpoon. For me, I think with the abilities we can get with the detachment being access to lethal hits and sustained hits and stuff like that, we want guns on this thing that are going to get the most out of that. And for that reason, I don't think the Dark Flame Cannon does anything for us. With a Torrent weapon, we're not going to get anything out of that. And then, obviously, the Warp Shock Harpoon is just the one shot. I don't think at the points level we're building this list for 1,000 points, we're going to need that. So the Brimstone Volcano Lance with its D3 shots and quite deadly D6 plus 8 damage, strength 20 weapon is better, especially with Blast, and the Ectoplasma Decimator as well has those two firing options to sort of fill in wherever we need. The other option we have are the Geist Strike missile launchers and twin desecrated cannon, and you can either have one of one and two of the other. For me, I think taking the two desecrated cannons is the way to go. Blast twin linked with all those extra things we're going to get is really going to provide a nice lot of shots for us. Now on to special rules. Obviously we have our core abilities. We've got Deadly Demise D6 plus 2. When this thing blows, it blows big. And then we've got the other faction special rules there as well. Infernal Aegis is an aura ability we have where friendly War Dog models within 6 inch will have the benefit of cover, and Bastion of Corruption means that reinforcements from our enemy can't come in within 12 inch of this unit, protecting it from any sort of alpha striking Terminators and stuff like that. Speaking of War Dogs, we are going to look at the War Dog Carnivores. I think these are going to be a nice unit to have alongside. Now, these models can't get the sacrifice we can get from the big titans in our force, but I think these are going to be the objective holders for our force. They're going to go out and get our far-reaching objectives, while the big Knight Tyrant is going to be the damage dealer. They do have a couple of options of either the Diabolus Heavy Stubble, which is a rapid-fire 3 weapon, or the Havoc Multi-Launcher. Now, the Havoc Multi-Launcher is D6 shots with Blast. They both have the exact same damage profile, but it also has indirect fire. That's the reason I like it. That extra 12-inch range plus indirect fire means your opponent can't hide away from these smaller knights, and we're going to be able to use their damage at all times, or at least for the vast majority of times. In combat, we have the Reaper Chain Talon and the Slaughter Claw. The Chain Talon really is here for that sweep profile with the 12 attacks, and the Slaughter Claw is definitely what we're going to be using if we are going to go into anti-armor. Now, the Carnivore special rule means we can reroll failed charge rolls for the unit, which is really nice, and when they've got 1 to 4 wounds remaining, they do, however, subtract 1 to hit roll. Pretty standard with these bigger sort of machines. Now, we're going to need to look at some of the damned units we can bring in, because obviously that's a big part of the force and it's going to allow us to get those extra abilities on our big Knight Titan. And the first one we're going to look at are actually the Traitor Guardsman Squad. The reason I like these guys over, say, the Cultist Mob, which we will talk about as well, is the fact that they can influence the battle as well. The OC2 on them is nice, but the access to things like Cultist Grenade Launchers, Sniper Rifles, and the Plasma Gun means they can have a bit of range damage in the unit as well to affect the game while they're not doing anything. You know, they can be decent backfield objective holders until we need them for a sacrifice. They can also go claim mid-table objectives and provide a decent amount of shooting as well. Now, they do obviously have all those options I mentioned, plus some others like flamers and melter guns, and they've got the sergeant being able to equip with a power weapon and bolt gun. And their twisted defense force means while this unit is within range of an objective marker, each time a range attack targets this unit, models in the unit have the benefit of cover, which is pretty solid. And lastly, we are going to talk about the Cultist mob. Now, the Cultist mob has one really great thing. Its weapons are pretty naff, and there's not much to write home about them, but the For the Dark Gods ability means at the end of your command phase, if this unit actually holds an objective, we can then keep it until our opponent takes it. This is great for like a home field objective where your Knight Tyrant starts or something, and move off if the cultists are here, because they're probably going to be the ones that we want to sacrifice. So you're able to start these guys with Knight Tyrant, get that sticky objective, and then move off and go do other things. And so for our force today, we're obviously playing with the Iconoclast Fiefdom ability detachment for our force. Now this gives us the ability Dreaded Masters, where Titanic Chaos Knights from our army have the following ability: Dread Tyrants. While the friendly damn units within 9 inch, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can reroll hit rolls of 1 and reroll wound rolls of 1. Particularly cool with those traded guardsmen who do have some decent special weaponry. Dark Sacrifice, it means we can actually sacrifice our damned models. It'll be the unit having to take a battle shock test. If they pass, they'll only suffer D3 models dying. If they fail, it's D3 plus 3. But in either case, we can select either lethal hits or sustained hits 1 to give to our knight. Wretched Thralls is the ability that allows us to pull these units in as well. We can include damned units in our army up to a certain point size based on the game we're playing. Now looking into characters, we've obviously got our Knight Tyrant. We've gone for making it our Warlord, it's our only character in the force, and we've got the enhancement Profane Altar. This is actually pretty cool because what this does is it means the maximum number of models are always slain in the units we sacrifice towards it, but it does gain both sustained hits 1 and lethal hits at all times when it does so. Now we've gone for the Brimstone Volcano Lance, an Ectoplasma Decimator, and a single Gas Strike missile launcher with 2 Desecrator Cannons as the weapon loadout for this model as well. For battle line, we have our 2 War Dog Carnivores. Both these have gone for the Havoc multi-launchers. I just like that indirect fire and the extra range on them. And lastly, our Wretched Thralls. We have 2 Traitor Guardsman squads. Both these units have 10 models in them with Traitor Sergeants with bolt guns and power weapons, Cultist Grenade Launcher, Plasma Gunner, and Cultist Sniper Rifle in them as well. We also have a Cultist mob with 10 models in the unit, and the Cultist Champion's got a bolt pistol as well. We hope that you found this video helpful in getting you started with Warhammer 40,000, and that it was able to give you some ideas and inspiration to start your own force in the game. If you have any further questions, please comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future Warhammer 40,000 content.